All right, guys, looks like we are live. Sorry about the late because I was fixing something on Pump.fun. I was just figuring out if I could just connect my live stream key to StreamYard. Apparently, I can. So I'm right now going live on a lot of places like Rumble, on my YouTube channel. Of course, if you guys are watching here, on my YouTube, on my Twitter, on Roxham's Twitter. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to Roxham TV and also welcome back to Gem Crypto. Today is Friday and I'm super excited because it's finally Friday. I'm gonna do this quick. My show is gonna be like 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday to Friday. So I can't wait after this live stream to go out and do happy hour with my friends. I'm seeing them. They're like a bunch of TradFi folks. TradFi people and then a little bit of crypto people. So we're going to go out and have fun. So I can't wait. But right now, let's dive into the chart. I'm going to share you my screen, what Bitcoin is forming. So as you know, I like to do a little TA when I'm starting out. And honestly, like TA wise, like not much has changed compared to our yesterday's live stream. So we are sitting at around 117. It's like bouncing between 116 to 117. And what I noticed on the hourly chart is that this rising channel is still playing out rather well. So we haven't got a breakout yet, so we're still not sure if we're going to go up to the reaching new all-time high of 124, or actually we're going to break down and have a little pullback to 110. When that happens, like when we have let me zoom closer, when we have like a candles close above this level, then well, it like there are chances that it might be a fake out. So I do aim for like 2 or 3 candles close about that level. Then we could confirm that is whether a fake out or not, whether it's breaking to the upside towards this level of 124, this all-time high, or we're gonna go back to the previous low, which is about 110. So let's see. That's just on the hourly chart. Let's move on to the daily chart of Bitcoin. All right, let me zoom closer and see what data do we have here. So again, like on the rising channel, on the daily chart, the rising channel is still playing out really well. One thing I noticed on the daily chart is that we consistently find resistance at around like 119 to 1110. So let's see if we manage to break above that. Like previously, we closed above 100 and 119. But however, there are only like 2 candles actually closed above 119. You can see like we have been building up this momentum since July. So it has been like 2 months already. So let's see if we go to 119. I do expect that we might find some resistance. The reason why I think that we might find resistance is that, okay, first of all, September, like this year, September looks like we're gonna have like a joyful September. Usually September hasn't been the strongest month for Bitcoin, but like Bitcoin like to surprise every one of us. So, I mean, if we end up with a positive number, positive return for Bitcoin, I would like that. I will take that. I'll be more than happy to take that. So, however, if you look at the price pattern for Bitcoin, okay, let's zoom out to the weekly right now. Let us remove the rising channel, and then let us zoom out to 2024. So last year, so what we saw last year is that late August, we end up with a dip. So that's the candle right here. That's the red candle. However, we do form a low, like almost like a bottom in first week of September as well. Let's see, we're gonna play out. So if that is the case, then we're gonna have to like a little rally. Then maybe end of September we're gonna have a dip. The dip, it might towards like it might continue the dip towards the first week of October if we were to follow the same pattern as last year. I still think that October gonna be a very positive and joyful October because we like to make jokes of October, like it's always October because the price of Bitcoin always go up in October. So what we saw before, like in 2024 October, is that the first week we saw a tiny dip, especially the first few days of October, and then people were absolutely like so scared. You see, like if we zoom closer back to 2024, so it's this candle here. So the end of September towards the start of October, and even the second week of October, like this candle right here is more like a wick. So it didn't look particularly strong for the first week of October. And then people were saying that, okay, October is no longer the case. And then obviously the third week, we saw like a dip in October again. So let's see if that's going to play out. Again, like if you zoom out average wise, I'm still very positive when it comes to the return in October. So that's for Bitcoin. I won't be surprised that, okay, if we keep climbing up and we touch this resistance, we might find some like pullback. Another reason why I think we might see some pullback is actually, okay, if you hop to the DXY chart. For those of you who don't know what DXY is, it's basically a basket of fiat currency. So it consists of USD, it consists of British pounds, euro, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, etc. So it's a bunch of fiat currencies. And whenever DXY has been dropping because we are right now on a rate cut environment, and we have been dropping since 2022, so since September. Right now, the DXY dropped already like 15% for 3 years. So why are we looking at DXY? DXY usually has an inverse correlation between DXY and Bitcoin. So if DXY is going up, that means fiat dollars. So you see like this massive rally. The reason why we have this massive rally was because the rate cut. All right, so that's for the bull market in terms of FX. However, we're seeing this like downtrend, like overall going down because we are on a rate cut scenario. And usually, if fiat currency is going down, that's always beneficial for Bitcoin. I like to look at DXY instead of just like USD on its own pair. Is that, well, we are seeing the global trend, like global liquidity and also rate cuts are happening global wise. So that's why I like to look at this chart. And usually when DXY goes down, it means like, okay, because like people like to trade with the US. Like we buy a lot of goods with the US, and all these, they are like trading partners with the US, whether it's like Europe, the EU, UK, Japan, they all trade with the US. So in other words, they're actually earning a lot of USD when they do exports. So when a bunch of currencies goes down, especially from foreign countries, they might look into other assets, and some of that money will flow into other investment options instead of like just regular bonds. So that seems to be the case. And also, like investors worldwide, they will also put a bunch of money into like other investment options, because if fiat dollars, if fiat currencies are going down, might as well just put in so-called risk on assets. So that's why DXY do have an inverse correlation. However, if you do zoom closer to the DXY, it looks like there's like a fake pull out, like a pullback, a fake out. So this week we haven't closed yet, but looks like we're bouncing back. If we were bouncing back, that means like DXY is getting stronger. However, long-term wise, if you zoom out, there's still like a ultimate downtrend. We know that for sure because rate cuts are coming. So certainly it's going to be beneficial for Bitcoin. However, I like to combine the DXY with the BTC chart, right? Like as I mentioned, if we go to resistance of 119, we might have a pullback. This kind of correlate with DXY because DXY kind of have like a fake out. We thought that DXY is going to go down. However, looks like it's going to bounce back. So for this bounce back period, maybe BTC would have a pullback to, I don't know, but I'm just guessing here, but I'm generally very bullish in October. However, like the last few weeks of September or even like the first week of October, then things might be a little bit choppy, but overall, I'm very bullish. All right, so that's for the chart analysis. As I mentioned, like there isn't much to update in terms of Bitcoin TA. If you want like deeper TA, I do recommend to check out yesterday live stream. So you can find the live stream on both Jam Crypto YouTube and also Roxham TV. Now let's move on to some of the news that I saw. So I do want to talk a little bit more about Bitcoin Treasury today, because there are headlines like this, like, okay, why corporate Bitcoin Treasury demand is slowing in 2025. So what's happening here is that, okay, for Bitcoin treasury companies, now together, they hold almost 1 million BTC in their treasury. So that is worth around $114 billion at today's price. So that's a new record. This year alone, companies added more than 415,000 BTC to the balance sheets, already surpassing the 325,000 BTC they bought in all of 2024. So here's the twist about this news. Like the momentum is slowing down, especially for BTC Treasury. We saw that even MicroStrategy is slowing down. But with the slowdown, like even with the slowdown, corporate treasury now holds about like 4.7% of Bitcoin's entire supply. Of course, the biggest one being MicroStrategy, hold more than 600,000 BTC on their balance sheet. So let's now look at these companies, like this top 100 BTC treasury companies. Like, who are these companies? Why are they buying? All right, so we have a bunch of companies from different sectors. There are Bitcoin mining, like they are in the infrastructure play. They also have like software companies. So MicroStrategy is a good example. It is a software company. We have like finance or investment, like bullish exchanges in investment. And then there's also like other sector, maybe in media. So region-wise, US still dominates, but Japan's Metaplanet and other Asian firms are stepping up. So since the start of 2025, 75 new firms joined in, though the majority remain crypto native or higher risk players, not traditional blue chip companies yet. Okay, so let us zoom closer and look at some of the top companies that is holding so much BTC. So of course, like MicroStrategy is the pioneer. They came up with this idea of using convertible debt and raising funds to purchase BTC. So it holds the majority of BTC in terms of the BTC Treasury company rank. The second one is Mara, like Marathon Digital. This is a mining company. It slowly expands to Treasury. Right now hold 52,000 BTC. And then the third one is 21. They hold 43,000 BTC. This is more like infrastructure focused. And then we have Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company, which holds 30,000 BTC. This is pure play treasury holder, so turning its company into a Bitcoin bank. And then we have Bullish. So Bullish is the exchange. So it's exchange-backed, institutional focus. They hold 24,000 BTC in the balance sheet right now. And then we have Metaplanet. Metaplanet being the Japan's MicroStrategy. However, because the trend of Bitcoin Treasury is down a little, the stock is down as well. So both MicroStrategy and Metaplanet, the stocks has been crashing because, again, the whole narrative is not as strong as before, as the beginning of the year. And then we have Riot. Riot holds 19,000 BTC. Again, this is like a mining company, like a miner with the treasury buffer. So we talk about this a little bit, but I saw some people ask me a lot of questions about, because I made a strong argument about these treasury companies getting into play. They are not entirely healthy companies. They are zombie companies. Of course, we have healthy companies like MicroStrategy is extremely healthy. Even the reason why MicroStrategy got into Bitcoin back in 2020 is that there is excessive cash flow. MicroStrategy is earning a lot of money from its software business, is very successful, it's a listed company. So one day, Michael Saylor thought to himself that might as well to put that amount of cash, because fiat dollars are a melting ice cube. So might as well just put a portion of that cash flow into Bitcoin. So at the end of the day, MicroStrategy got in as a healthy company, so as Tesla, so as Bullish, because Bullish is earning the exchange fees. However, there are also volatile companies getting in. For example, like Marathon and Riot platforms, they are a little bit volatile, cash flows rise and fall with Bitcoin cycles, but they are not entire zombies. What I'm concerned about, and I mentioned this in yesterday's live stream, though some people weren't so happy, is that we are seeing a risk of all these zombies that with the negative cash flows getting in. Okay, I'm gonna get a lot of hatred in the comment again. Okay, so Metaplanet is a classic example of a zombie company. Though I think Metaplanet can get away from this. I'll explain why. I'm not concerned about Metaplanet at all, but the newer companies that are getting in, we cover one company like the GD company. I talked about that in yesterday's live stream. They have a consistent negative cash flows. When you look at the cash flows, you just go to Yahoo Finance, go to financials. So we are looking at Metaplanet. So one thing I like to, so there are a lot of numbers, it looks very confusing, but just focus on the EBIT. So right now it's okay. We are on the annual financials of Metaplanet. However, we do notice there's a negative cash flow that is back in 2023. So if you don't know what Metaplanet is, basically it's a very old company. It founded back in 1999 as a budget hotel operator and some web solutions provider. And this company has actually been struggling for decades with very weak revenues and losses. But since 2024, so since early 2024, the CEO completely adopted what Michael Saylor has been doing. And you can honestly tell from the financials. That's why I like looking at these numbers so much. So focus on the EBIT, so earning before interest and taxes. In 2023, it was a negative number because the core business is losing so much money. And then the CEO adopted Bitcoin in early 2024, and look at the number. Like, that's a huge jump from a negative $6 million to a positive $6 billion. That is crazy. Like, because of adopting Bitcoin, they managed to save the entire business. And like, I think Metaplanet can get away from this. Well, okay, right now, bottom line, Metaplanet is still losing money on the core business that they're doing. So the hotel business that they're doing, but the BTC mixed books looks really strong right now, and I believe Metaplanet can get away from this in like if you compare to a bunch of BTC Treasury copycats that are just getting in right now. For example, GD Culture Group, they just like started recently, and there's like a pullback from the community, and then the share price crashed down significantly, like stuff like that. I do think the BTC Treasury is coming to a plateau, and especially if the company is getting in right now, they're buying Bitcoin at a well, it's well over 110,000. We are close to 120, so sitting at 117. So all these like new companies getting in, they're purchasing Bitcoin at like a not cheap price. So that's why I'm that's another reason why I'm a little bit concerned. And I do think Bitcoin Treasury has plateaued. But a huge but, I do think Metaplanet can get away from this. So if we look at Metaplanet, let's focus on the premium. So it's still trading at 1.2x premium. The reason why there's a premium for Metaplanet, oh, by the way, like a lot of these companies, so 1 in every 4 companies that we are seeing here, they are trading below 1x premium. So that's not like an entirely strong looking. So GD Culture, they're trading at 0.1x. So why we stress the premium so much, how many x, is that, okay, I'll give you guys some reference, like 1x premium or 1x, it means neutral. So you are paying $1 to get $1 worth of BTC. So that's 1x. If for like MicroStrategy case, it rose to like 3x at some point, and that was like completely euphoric. What 3x premium means is that, okay, there's actually just like $1 worth of BTC in MicroStrategy's book, but people are willing to pay $3 instead. So that is like completely euphoric. Usually when you see sign like a huge premium like this, it's a good idea to take some profit off the table. In other words, like, okay, on the flip side, if we are seeing like below 1, like, I don't know, like some of the companies are trading at 0.9x, that means you are using 0.9, okay, 90 cents dollar, and you can get like $1 worth of BTC. Some traders will see this as a really good deal, especially if you are bullish on Bitcoin long term. So yeah, for degen traders out there, it's a good time to buy. Let's come back to Metaplanet. Why we are, well, I'm not too worried about Metaplanet, and I think like 1.2, the premium is justifiable. So if you don't know about the Japanese market, Japan's is actually really harsh when it comes to the crypto capital gain tax. So it could tax as high as 55%. No offsetting losses. Like even unrealized crypto gains could trigger tax events. So this is a reason why a bunch of Japanese people would find Metaplanet very attractive, because they can just purchase Metaplanet shares and buy the stocks proxy, and then they have the exposure to Bitcoin. There's like ways to get around, like, okay, the tax-free stock investments are up to 18 million yen lifetime for an individual. So buying Metaplanet through something called NISA is like tax-free Bitcoin exposure. And at the moment, Japan doesn't have spot ETFs yet. So it makes sense for Japanese people to just purchase Metaplanet. So even though like at some point, Metaplanet premium exploded to 5x, I think it's still justifiable because again, like Japanese people, they kind of don't want to purchase Bitcoin directly and just treat Metaplanet as a Bitcoin proxy. However, there's a caveat to that, because like there's a upcoming proposed, like the FSA has proposed a flat 20% crypto tax, maybe by the year 2026. If it passed, Metaplanet's premium could shrink because direct BTC would be maybe cheaper to hold. So that is a risk of Metaplanet if you guys like to trade this kind of stuff. I much rather to hold the underlying asset. It depends on, because like we are seeing different plays right now. We are seeing treasury companies doing it for not only BTC but ETH and also Solana. And if you look at the chart, BTC on the top, so the orange line, is slowing down in a so it's very slow right now. It's barely moving anymore. It's almost flat. However, if you look at Ethereum is like on a major rally since July. One reason is because, okay, we have Bitmine and we have Tom Lee shilling Ethereum every single day on CNBC or multiple interviews. I've watched so much Tom Lee's interviews on different platforms and on multiple YouTube channels just to talk up some ETH. So we're seeing an exponential growth for Ethereum. And I do think there's still room for Ethereum to grow, though it's really catching up Bitcoin level. So we might slow down in terms of the ETH treasury companies as well. And then the third play I'm seeing huge opportunity here is Solana. You're seeing this like this purple line on the bottom, and that it absolutely like a huge step up, like from between like 12th of September to 15th of September. That is like a 1% step up. We are currently sitting at 2.18% for Solana. The reason why there's a huge step up because there are billions worth of buy coming into Solana play. And I do think that since that Bitcoin treasury narrative is kind of plateau, Ethereum had the moment, especially in July when Tom Lee talking up Ethereum so much. The next exponential growth, it could be Solana. Again, not financial advice here, but Solana, we haven't seen a Michael Saylor for Solana. Of course, Bitcoin, we have Michael Saylor. For Ethereum, we have Tom Lee. Solana, we still haven't had that person yet. So let's see if we have that person, there's like an even bigger growth for Solana. Like I know people will get upset, especially if Bitcoin Maxi watching this content, but again, the reason why I'm talking about this is that, okay, I like to stack up more Bitcoin. So whether, I don't care what are the ways for you to to stack up more Bitcoin and earn more money. But like I see an opportunity here. So Solana, there's like still so much room to grow. So it's a good idea to flip, like to swap some USD into Solana, and then once Solana get to the a little bit higher, then I do see it an opportunity to flip back from Solana to Bitcoin. That's how I've always played out throughout different cycles, because I've been in crypto for quite some time. And this strategy is working really well for me. Technically speaking, we are at alt season right now. The reason why I say this, even though it doesn't feel like alt season, I don't know why the indicator is peaking and telling us that we are at alt season. So if you go to the bull market indicator, if we go to the alt season index, is taking up right now, sitting at 80%. So what my strategy right now is that I'm not sure if you guys still believe in the whole 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. Like, if so, if you do believe it's the 4-year cycle, then the top is gonna happen in late this year. Usually there's like a lag for Ethereum rally, and also there's another lag for altcoins rally. So my strategy right now is that, okay, as we getting close to the cycle top, I would take a little bit of profit, especially when it comes to altcoins, because like altcoins are a lot more riskier, and I do like to take profit with my altcoins, and I'm going to switch to Bitcoin, because my ultimate goal is to stack up more BTC, not altcoins. I have been through many cycles to know that altcoins, a lot of them don't last, and 99% of altcoins we are seeing today will not make it to the next cycle. That's one thing I learned the hard way. So yeah, whether you believe the 4-year cycle or not, like, okay, some of you would be like, why, Jamie, you're so bearish? Why are you talking about the cycle top? I don't think we're getting a cycle top like this month, but like as we get closer to year end of 2025, maybe, okay, I will sell a little bit of profit. I'm not going to sell my entire bags. I think that's dumb to do. And some people like to say that this cycle is different. I would love to see those people to be right, and I love to be wrong here. Like, if we get an extension of bull market, like, who wouldn't want it, right? So either way, I'm prepared for both scenarios. So if the 4-year cycle is still intact, then I'm taking a little bit of profit, especially with altcoins. I'm selling majority of my altcoins. And if not, I still have my BTC. And yeah, if we extend the bull market to a few months, because now that institutions, countries are looking to adopt Bitcoin, or even for the strategic reserve. So yeah, I'm more than happy to be wrong again. All right, so that's for the treasury side of things. And other thing that I find it really interesting today is that, okay, I watched this video that Eric Trump was talking about crypto and really hyping up Bitcoin. Let me play this video loud if you can hear. All right, so you had the guy. basically his entire family got debanked because, well, sorry about that. So he's a very, very sensitive person. So that's why the banks were giving him a hard time. So Eric Trump called Bitcoin the modern day gold, arguing it's the greatest hedge against traditional assets like real estate. His reasoning is that, oh, there was no sound. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to fix that in my StreamYard in a bit, but like maybe I could. Well, yeah, I'll fix that in my next live stream. But thanks for letting me know. So Eric Trump was talking about, okay, Bitcoin being the modern day gold. His reasoning is that, okay, with Bitcoin, you can send $500 million on a Sunday night instantly with like no fees, like virtually no fees. If you compare it to the TradFi, then the fee is extremely low, right? And he said is what like scared big banks because it cuts out the row in the system. And Eric Trump didn't hold back. He described Bitcoin as the greatest asset of our time, the ultimate global asset, a true hard asset that isn't tied to legacy payment rails. So my instant reaction after watching this video is that, okay, since Eric Trump is so bullish on crypto, or even like his Trump family, his entire family, like the majority of his family's wealth is in crypto right now. So I got really curious to see if there's any linked wallets to the Trump family. So here's what I found. I didn't manage to find Eric Trump's wallet. I don't think it's leaked, but like Donald Trump's wallet was leaked, and you can find such thing on Arkham. So Arkham Intel, that's a website that I like to use when I'm doing my research. So Donald Trump wallet was actually being identified back in 2023. If you guys want to track his wallet, it's here. So 0x948, something like that. Literally just type Donald Trump, then you'll see his wallet. Right now, he has like $1.5 million in his wallet. And I got really curious, like, what does he hold? So if you look at the portfolio, the majority of funds is with wrapped ETC. So wrapped ETH, sorry. So Bitcoin, Ethereum. So 1.6 million worth of Ethereum. That means 377 Ethereum on his wallet. There's also a bunch of meme coins, though like these meme coins, I do speculate that like I don't think he actually owns that. It's just like some of the projects like to send it to the Donald Trump's wallet just for fun or for marketing effects, because that's how it works in crypto. So I do want to want to stress that this is just like a individual wallet. Usually when you want to track what they're doing, actually just track the what the Trump or the WLFI is doing. That might be a better idea. So its family wealth in crypto usually flows through corporate structures like, well, Liberty Financial and also American Bitcoin Corporation, not so much for personal wallet. And if you didn't know, Eric Trump is now the CSO when it comes to American Bitcoin Corporation. So unfortunately, no Eric Trump wallet being leaked, but we can track some of the company stakes and also on-chain data. And as for Eric Trump, he owns 7.5% of American Bitcoin Corp. So that's worth about $548 million. And also his family owns majority, well, not majority, so his family owns like 23% of WLFI total supply. And it peaked at around like $5 to $6 billion. So that's a lot of money in crypto. That's high stake for the entire Trump family because, well, a lot of the portfolio is in crypto right now. And for American Bitcoin Corp, that's another $1.3 billion to the family's crypto-linked wealth through mining and treasuries. So if you guys are interested to check this out, just go to Arkham and type out Donald Trump, then you'll find what you want to know. So I kind of want to circle back to the interview that Eric Trump did on Bloomberg, because I find it very interesting when he mentioned that his family got debanked. So he claimed that after 2021, there's like some capital riots, banks came after them viciously, closing Trump family accounts under political pressure. He called this like cancel culture in banking and blamed this entirely on the Biden administration. So he has a strong stance when it comes to banks. That's why he created WLFI. However, I do find it like ironic when they have this DeFi platform, they chose to freeze Justin Sun's tokens. That is like one of the biggest dramas tied to WLF just happened like earlier this month. So it's pretty recent. It happened on 5th of September. So if you guys didn't know, Justin Sun is a key investor in the project and holds around $700 million worth of WLFI tokens, mostly fasted. So what happened with the WLFI project is that the blockchain firms flagged there are suspicious activity linked to some sanctioned countries. So WLFI blacklisted Justin Sun wallet. Justin Sun, of course, protested and calling it unfair and saying it undermines trust in WLFI and DeFi. I find this very ironic because the whole idea why Eric Trump created, or his family created, this DeFi platform is to go against banking sector, and he absolutely against the idea of being debanked. Now he's debanking Justin Sun. Is that like how centralization works or decentralization works? I don't know. I just find it interesting. Okay, I'm not siding with Justin Sun by all means. He's definitely not my favorite person in crypto. I'll put it very politely. He has a really bad reputation, and he, like, every coins that he touched would essentially go to zero. Like he likes to rug pull his community, and I don't know why he isn't in jail right now. So I'm not siding with Justin Sun, but I just find it ironic how a DeFi project could just pull such thing. Yeah, so the bottom line is Eric Trump, let's go back to this one. Okay, Eric Trump is going all in crypto and also in Bitcoin, calling Bitcoin as modern day gold. So the Trump family is not going to let crypto fail. He's like, Donald Trump's going to have so much favorable policy when it comes to crypto. Bitcoin doesn't need politician support. But if we do have politician support, like, it's a much smoother sail for Bitcoin and reaching a new goal, maybe even for towards the Bitcoin strategic reserve one day. So I'm bullish. Anyways, I just find this interesting and want to share with you guys. It's very centralized for this DeFi platform. If you want decentralization, please just go to Bitcoin, just hold Bitcoin. And oh, okay, I forgot this news. Another thing very interesting is that after WLFI froze Justin Sun's allocation, the coin pumped 8%. So again, let's kind of circle back to what I mentioned about Justin Sun, his reputation. I'll just leave it there. All right, moving on to the final news I have prepared for you guys is Bahrain. So what is Bahrain? Like, actually, I didn't know much about the country before I hopping on the live stream. I usually do like hours and hours of research whenever I do live stream. So thanks to you guys, I'm actually learning something new every single day. But like the news that I want to share is that Bahrain, there's like this new stablecoin law, and there's certain stuff that I think is pretty interesting. If you don't know this country, I'll just give you guys some overviews and background. So Bahrain is a small island nation in the Persian Gulf. So here's Bahrain, and if you zoom out, here's Qatar. It's just like right next to each other. And here's the Persian Gulf. So this is just like a small nation, small island around this like Persian Gulf. So it is a constitutional monarchy with a 45 to 50 billion economy, mostly driven by oil, by banking, by tourism. But right now, Bahrain is actively trying to diversify beyond just oil, with fintech and crypto at the center of this strategy. And I do notice that this tends to be the trend for a lot of Middle East countries. Middle East is extremely rich because they are rich in natural resources. They have a lot of oil, but they do want to diversify their income and instead of just rely solely on the oil, because oil going to run out one day. And also, it's always a good idea to diversify. Yeah. So what's happening here is that Bahrain is very crypto friendly. Like the Central Bank of Bahrain is the main regulator, and the Economic Development Board works to attract foreign investment. Together, they are positioning itself, so Bahrain, as one of the most progressive crypto hubs in the Middle East. And when it's come to the crypto stance for Bahrain, it kind of goes all the way back to 2017. So there are already early rules implemented by this like small nation in the Gulf country. So it's actually the first Persian Gulf country to regulate crypto. The Central Bank of Bahrain issued licensing rules for exchanges, custody, and trading. So they are very advanced when it comes to crypto regulators. And that's why they attracted pioneers like Riot, which is the first licensed MENA exchange, or even Binance, like which expanded there as well. And between 2020 to 2022, they absolutely like exploded when it comes to the growth. Like it's like major growth years for the country. They licensed over 120 fintech firms with crypto at the core, like being the center of everything, and became a sandbox for the Islamic finance experiments. Right now, I will say they are already at a more mature phase. They introduced like the VAT exemptions for crypto, hosted major events like Bitcoin MENA, and there's a huge crypto adoption, especially among the young people, the young population within the country. Right now, they have this like new law, like this new stablecoin law, which just passed this year, and Bahrain wants to be the crypto safe zone of the Gulf. So the compared to the all these countries, the Persian Gulf countries, they want to be the crypto safe zone, innovation friendly, but with rules to protect investors and align with global standards. So let's dive deeper into this new stablecoin law. First of all, they have rules to say that okay, issuers must obtain a central bank license, treated like full financial institutions. So there's like governance, capital requirements. Those are mandatory, and of course, it's stablecoin, so it has to be one-to-one backed by fiat. In terms of the fiat options, it could be packed to USD, Euro, or the local currency. It's called Dinar, and it will be ordered annually. And position the stablecoins as part of the payments, like a DeFi ecosystem, or even like cross-border trade. So a lot of people are taking this very positively, calling it a game changer. And I do have to say, the Middle East is quite it has been friendly for crypto. It's one of the most bullish region globally. In 2025, so MENA, well, MENA stands for Middle East and North Africa, so MENA. MENA ranks as the 6th largest crypto economy, with inflows estimate like 110 to 300 billion every single year. There are countries that lead this way. For example, we have the UAE, so Dubai is right here. They're being completely crypto friendly. You can even buy a house in Dubai with USDT. That's how crazy and how advanced Dubai is becoming. And I do know a lot of crypto millionaires like to move to Dubai. I personally haven't been to Dubai. Hopefully one day I get to see the culture, but I keep hearing amazing things that Dubai has been doing for the crypto scene as a whole. So we have the UAE, we have like really low tax. That's why another reasons rich people like to move to UAE. And then we have Saudi Arabia. So it's also pushing fintech growth. And of course, we have Bahrain, which we just talked about, is the pioneer when it comes to regulation, fast adoption. So however, when it comes to the Middle East, like geopolitics still matter. Regional tensions can swing markets quite quickly. So yeah, you know what I mean. So some people would be wondering like why Middle East is moving so fast. It's actually so much faster than US and EU. Like US has been lagging for years until the new administration from Donald Trump. So why is Middle East so advanced? One reason is that, okay, I kind of mentioned this a little bit before. So the UAE is trying to move away from oil dependency. And also another reason is the tax incentive. So there is no income tax, by the way. So there's no income tax in UAE and there's no income tax in Bahrain. Extremely low corporate tax as well. And for countries within the Middle East, it's very interesting that the population is quite young. 60 to 70% of the population is under 30 years old. That is something I find it quite surprising when I was doing the research, because as we know, developed nations tend to have older demographics. And with the Middle East being so young for the population, it makes sense why the interest of crypto becomes higher, right? I mean, it's full of young people, so they are okay with a little bit of like so-called risk on asset. And also when it comes to the Middle East, there's like sovereign wealth funds, so billions being invested into fintech and crypto projects. So that's why Middle East is so advanced. Even I think Hong Kong got so much to learn from Middle East as well. So who is using crypto in the Middle East? So there are different use cases. Of course, young people see this as an investment. Actually, like majority of them would invest into crypto more for long-term hedging. And also they trade, like they speculate, they like meme coins, they have the degen culture. I mean, degen culture is everywhere, but like since Middle East is full of young people, like the degen ratio kind of rise, it makes sense, right? And then some of them would use that for payments, maybe real estate in Dubai. That's so cool. Like imagine I can just purchase $1 million condo, $1 million worth of condo in Dubai with my USDT. I can just like send over from my phone. Okay, there you go. Like agent, like here's $1 million in USDT. That's pretty cool, I think. All right, and also the organization, like the LWA asset, like they have strong mentality when it comes to LWA. They are doing amazing things. They see there's like so much potential in LWA. The demand is growing as well. So yeah, I'm liking what I saw. Yeah, so the key takeaway, so while US and Europe are still fighting regulatory battles, places like Bahrain and UAE are already building the future of crypto right now. So that's why it's attracting so much institutions, moving funds like from exchanges to exchanges, from funds to exchanges, setting up shops in the UAE and in Middle East. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to cover. I think I overran a little bit. Like I keep preparing so much news, and then I still haven't talked about the LWA or BlackRock that I've been wanting to talk about. But I have to hand over to the next show because we have so many programs lined up. But before you go, make sure another call to action. Make sure to follow me on my Twitter. So it's on it's called Jam Crypto _IO because I have regular updates here. And also make sure to follow Roxham TV. We have daily shows. We operate 24/7. We have studio in San Francisco, London, and also we're setting up a studio in Hong Kong. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday instead. Happy Friday again.